Right now, road construction around Madison taking its toll on everyone's time and patience. What first responders are saying about the slowdowns. Plus, the interim Dane County executive reveals next year's budget proposal. We'll dive into the details. And later, teaching cannabis in college. We'll take you to UW-Platteville to see how the course there is evolving as it enters its second year. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. If you've driven downtown Madison or anywhere on the city's west side near Gammon Road, you may have noticed a lot of construction. It's causing growing delays, especially during the busy morning and afternoon commutes. Tanisha Shaw live now on Gammon Road. And Tanisha, you spoke to first responders and they have a message for drivers.
Yep, I did. I talked to first responders about what's behind me, traffic. Well, it isn't that much, but I was here about 2 hours ago. I've been here in this area all day. A lot of traffic in the area because of the construction here on Gammon Road, along Gammon Road on Madison's west side. Now, I got the chance to ask first responders, is construction like what we're seeing behind me impacting their response times?
A lot of times what we've noticed is once this construction is done, it makes the roads nicer. We're creating more bike paths, and it's just overall making the city look better and become a safer city.
There's currently more than 15 active construction projects on Madison roads. It's something we see every day. It impacts rush hour both in the morning and afternoon. But first responders say they prepare for construction before any orange cones even go up.
Like the traffic side of the city is communicating with MPD, and MPD is then communicating with officers to be like, hey, this is the major road construction that's going on. This is where it's going to be happening. Plan for, some of that stuff in advance.
Both Madison Fire and police say construction on the road barely impacts response times.
Thanks to our traffic layout, these aren't significant impacts for us. But if it's a time of heavy traffic or heavy use, then it might add in some more time.
What can challenge active response times the most during construction are drivers on the road.
I think we have bigger issues with getting people to recognize that when an emergency vehicle is behind them and being able to pull over to the right to allow us to give us the right of way. People just stop in the middle of the road because they don't know where to go, or they ignore and think that they're going to try and stay in front of us. That's where we start to run into problems where we get some more significant delays, because then we kind of get stuck in traffic. Then we can't change our route left and right because there's just too much traffic.
Now, I really want to emphasize what we just heard from Milwaukee Fire Department. Whether you're on the belt line, whether you're on streets like this, like Gammon Road, pull over once you see those red, white, and blue lights or when you hear those sirens. If you don't, that is actually what they're saying is causing massive traffic delays. Now again, pull over to your right. And make sure that you're giving enough space when you're driving in and out of traffic to make sure that if you do see a police car or a fire truck and they put on those sirens, that you have enough time to move, and that they have enough time to navigate around you and avoid more traffic delays than what we're seeing right here behind me. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
All right, Tanisha, thank you. A former school resource officer in Sun Prairie is admitting to a charge of child enticement. 35-year-old Lamont Crockett pleaded guilty during a hearing today. In 2023, Crockett was charged with that and 2 other charges, including sexually assaulting a child. Those charges have been dismissed. A criminal complaint details allegations from someone who says they had a sexual encounter with Crockett when he was just 16 years old. He said Crockett admitted to having sexual encounters with other children. Crockett will be sentenced next Thursday. The Madison Fire Department investigating a garage fire from overnight. Crews were called to a home on Browning Road about 9:45. Firefighters arrived to find heavy smoke coming from an attached garage. That fire was knocked down within just 5 minutes. The owner told firefighters they discovered the fire after smelling smoke and hearing smoke alarms. No injuries were reported. That fire caused an estimated $15,000 in damage. No one was injured after a fire at Curly's Pub and Grub. That's on Main Street in the village of Blue Mounds. Crews responded to this fire just after 3 this morning. They saw smoke filling the building, which included a single-family apartment above the business there. All 6 residents were safely evacuated. The Red Cross now helping them out. The fire is being investigated, but the sheriff's office says it does not appear to be suspicious in nature. Damages there are estimated at $200,000. We are now hearing from the mother of Elijah Vu. This after the 3-year-old's remains were discovered after he went missing back in February. Last week, Vu's remains were found on private property in Manitowoc County. His mother, Katrina Bauer, and her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, are charged with child neglect. Both have pleaded not guilty. So far, prosecutors have not filed any new charges against the two. Bauer releasing a statement through her attorney. It says in part, quote, Katrina Bauer is devastated by the most recent news. She had continued to have hope that her little boy would be found alive. At this time, she is mourning the loss of her son. Bauer's next court date set for October 22nd. We turn now to weather. The dry conditions remain for now. Let's check your first one forecast. Here is meteorologist Blaise Keller. Blaise?
And we've got a little bit of an air quality issue across some of our counties, just a handful, including Dane, Sauk, Columbia, Rock County, Walworth County, to name a few. You're going to be underneath an air quality alert and through about 11 o'clock tonight. Winds are light. We were hot today, and we're just not moving any new air. So if you're sensitive to maybe some of the poor air quality and you want to head outside this evening, just know that you're going to be running into some air quality issues. You're taking a live look towards downtown. Winds are light. It's 74 in Madison. Across southern Wisconsin, 70s and 80s. Partly sunny to mostly sunny conditions still. We'll eventually settle into more of those 50s and 60s tonight. We should be a little bit cooler than that, to say the least. So we're going to continue to remain on the warmer side here as we make our way through the rest of this week. It's next week that we start to feel more seasonal because we add back a few more chances for rain. So as we're planning ahead for your Thursday, sending the kiddos off to school, starting out about 60 through 70 degrees, staying dry as they're going to school, as they're heading on home. But rain does return starting later Thursday evening. We'll track out that in just a few minutes.
Blaise, thank you. A Wisconsin court will now hear Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s appeal as he continues to try to get his name off the ballot in Wisconsin. It comes just days after a Dane County judge ruled RFK Jr.'s name would remain on the ballot. Kennedy Jr. requested to be removed after the deadline for independent candidates to get off the Wisconsin ballot. State law says the only way independent presidential candidates can do that after the deadline is if they die. The appeals court says it accepted the case due to the, quote, extreme time pressure on the case. Leaders within Dane County gathered at the Elver Park Neighborhood Center this morning for a look at the 2025 budget proposal put forward by interim Dane County Executive and Jamie Kuhn. Our Kyle Pazorski joins us now with what it entails. Kyle?
Well, as we brought you earlier, this year's budget proposal sees a nearly 50% decrease in capital spending, while it raises taxes on the average Madison home through a levy increase. Some of the highlights include $10 million to the Affordable Housing Fund, another $10 million to the Conservation Fund. They also look to fund improvements to the Alliant Energy Center, which were slowed by the pandemic, plus another $16.6 million for highway projects. County Board Chair Patrick Miles says what he heard this morning is very promising.
I greatly appreciate the transparency and the inclusiveness that Executive Kuhn has exercised in developing her budget proposal.
Interim County Executive Jamie Kuhn did also say this morning that not all budget requests and proposals will be funded under this. She says it is a tough decision to make, but necessary in anticipation of revenue flattening in the coming years. Now, this budget will now head to the County Board of Supervisors, where they will deliberate on some of the finer points. Miles says he hopes to pass it by the end of October.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Looking to get rid of those old, worn-out winter coats your kids grew out of? Well, consider a donation to our Coats for Kids campaign. News 3 Now teaming up with Klinke and the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County and Magic 98 to try to collect 5,000 coats. And so far, the campaign has collected 782 coats. We've got a long way to go yet, folks, so we need your help. We want to thank some local knitters as well after they donated 29 hand-knitted caps to the Sun Prairie Klinke Cleaners location. If you'd like to donate, you have until October 5th. Just take any new or gently used coats, hats, mittens, snow pants, and other winter outerwear to any Klinke Cleaners location. If you don't have a winter coat, you can still help. Simply buy a coat off the Coats for Kids Amazon wish list. You can find a link to that at channel3000.com/Coats for Kids. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, there's a new rehabilitation facility in Fitchburg. How one man says it changed his life for the better. Plus, how Delta Dental is pitching in to boost the oral health care workforce. We're back after a short break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. Our team is available 24/7 to help, and there's no fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Eric Hovde is a multimillionaire California bank CEO, but when it comes to our healthcare, his plans aren't so rich. Hovde says he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
We have to try to defund every aspect of Obamacare,
costing 200,000 Wisconsin families their healthcare. And Hovde supported policies that will cut Social Security and Medicare and raise the Social Security retirement age. A millionaire lifestyle works great for Hovde, but his plans on healthcare are a disaster for us. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Ready to make over your home? Now's the best time during Steinhaffel's Buy More, Save More sale. Save $100 when you spend $19.99 or more, $250 on purchases of $39.99 or more, and $350 when you spend $49.99 or more. Steinhaffel's has the largest selection of all the newest styles ready for your home. Make your dream space a reality with Steinhaffel's special 60-month financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
The final sprint to Election Day is on, and News 3 Now this morning is focused on the races and the policies that matter to you, the voter.
We're taking a look at both sides of the issues and where the candidates stand so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6, moving forward.
A new rehabilitation center in Fitchburg is helping patients recover. Encompass Health provides inpatient rehab for stroke, brain injury, hip fracture, and other conditions. And during a tour of the facility, we heard from one man on how it changed his life. After retiring from his job as a factory worker, Bill Stockwell began losing his balance, frequently falling and getting hurt. He was diagnosed with spinal stenosis and got surgery. While recovering, he spent time at Encompass Health.
When I got here, I had pretty much accepted the fact that my life was over. You know, I didn't know, did I have a week, did I have a month? I didn't know. I thought for sure that my life was done. And after we got here, I got through the first night, we started doing the work, and everything just turned completely around.
Bill is now back on his feet and walking safely again, and for the first time in months, Bill is optimistic about his future. 14 technical colleges in Wisconsin will receive money to expand their oral health workforce programs. In January, Governor Evers allocated $20 million for the oral health care workforce initiatives within technical colleges, and that's not all. One Stevens Point Corporation is matching up to $2 million of that state funding. The Delta Dental of Wisconsin Foundation hopes its grant will introduce students to 2 new career paths, the dental therapy and expanded function dental auxiliary programs. But it's not just about expanding special fields.
There is a need for more oral health workers in the state. We recognize that there is a shortage, and the technical colleges are working to increase that capacity, which ultimately also relates to increased access for all of us.
And Madison College is among the colleges receiving that funding. When we come back, a conductor with Wisconsin ties prepares to lead an upcoming live orchestra event at Overture Center. Plus, learning about cannabis in college. Hear from some UW-Platteville students on their experiences completing the coursework. And we'll just keep on waiting for rain. Blaze with a complete forecast and our best chances when we could see some storms.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
No, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
They produced yacht rock hits that defined an era. It's Ambrosia. Performing live October 12th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. with special guest John Ford Coley. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Soft rock that rocked the yacht. Ambrosia, John Ford Coley, October 12th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets go on sale September 20th. Get ready for more heroics, more fireworks, more opportunities to witness history. Because when the temperature drops, the action only heats up. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and get ready for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss.
At DePaco, your health and happiness are as important to us as your financial well-being. So when you're ready to take the first step, we'll help you make a plan and transform it into a lifelong commitment. Well-being is the key to a life worth loving. So when you think about yours, remember that DePaco can help you be well.
I'm Joan Ballwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Ballwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
College classes are in full swing now, and at UW-Platteville, that means another group of students is taking on cannabis education courses. And our Maddie Heimsch is here with a look at the courses and this evolving industry. Maddie?
Yeah, so the courses are completely online and offered around the country. But for students at UW-Platteville, the growing industry conflicts with stagnant legislation.
Each of those programs is designed to give people a really deep understanding of the different sectors of the industry.
Max Simon is the CEO of Greenflower, the cannabis curriculum organization that provides the courses at UW-Platteville. Platteville currently offers 5 of its classes: healthcare and medicine, agriculture and horticulture, business of cannabis, compliance and risk management, and product development and design.
These programs are very useful at giving people the skills and knowledge they need to succeed.
But why offer them in a state where marijuana isn't legal? Simon says for the same reason all college courses exist, to adequately prepare students for future opportunities.
This industry moves and evolves very quickly, and even though it's not fully legalized today, that can change in an instant.
State Senator Melissa Agard has been championing cannabis legalization legislation in Wisconsin for more than a decade. She tells me the courses are a step in the right direction.
Frankly, I applaud our UW systems for understanding that in order for us to continue to be relevant in the education and science fields, that we need to provide these opportunities.
Agard says regardless of Wisconsin's current legislation status, UW students should be educated to the same extent as those going to school in other states.
We know in Wisconsin that there are people that are coming to school here to become pharmacists and doctors and nurses and horticulturists. And imagine being a pharmacist in a legal state, but having gone to school here and not having any of your classes, your professors, or your instruction talking about cannabis.
Students who have completed the course told me off camera that they're not only prepared to work in the cannabis industry, but feel they've gained valuable insight into healthcare and business as well. Melissa Agard is on the ballot this November for Dane County Executive, along with Dana Pelibon. We discussed this topic independently of her current campaign.
Maddie, thank you. Dry now. There is a slight chance we could see some storms tomorrow. Blaze is back now. Complete look at the forecast, Blaze.
And we're going to keep our fingers crossed because it has been over 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, since the Madison area, and that extends to a lot of southern Wisconsin, has seen any meaningful, let alone just any rain in general. So this will be some very beneficial rain, to say the least. We'll take a look at our 2 chances here as we head Thursday night into Friday and then again Sunday into Monday. Until then, though, we're going to continue to remain warmer than average. So when you look at the data from the normal amount of rain that we would have otherwise seen from the start of September through yesterday's date, a lot of our coverage area falls in between 0 to only 10% of that normal. So we have just not seen hardly any rain here across not only southern Wisconsin, but northwestern Wisconsin and even parts of central Wisconsin. It's when you get into these yellow spots that you get above 25% of what you would normally see from the 1st through the 17th. So it has just been a dry September, but our first round of rain arrives Thursday night into Friday. This isn't going to be a widespread soaking rain, but any rain at this point, whether it's 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch or 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, is going to be well received. This is along a line of expected showers and thunderstorms that's going to develop out ahead of a cold front starting later Thursday evening. However, there could be some early afternoon to mid-afternoon activity dying out as it enters into southwestern Wisconsin. That would otherwise diminish our chance, not completely get rid of it, our chance for severe weather as we head into your Thursday evening, because of course our first chance for rain comes with the chance for severe weather. But this line is going to continue to move its way eastward as we head overnight into the early morning hours on Friday. We find a marginal and slight risk for severe weather. All severe weather hazards will be possible, but I think strong winds as well as localized large hail are going to be our greatest threats. You can download either our news or weather app and stay with us because you'll get alerts sent to your phone or mobile device, and we'll of course keep you updated should severe weather happen. Then we look ahead to the weekend, starting later Saturday into Sunday and possibly continuing into Monday. We watch as moisture comes out of the plains. A lot of green across not only Wisconsin, but the Midwest. That extends to the Great Lakes and even the northern plains as well. This would be the more soaking, widespread rain. On top of maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain Thursday into Friday, we could add on top of that 3/4 of an inch to an additional 1 to 1.5 inches of rain. So this would be our really, I would say, dry condition busting rain. We'll hopefully not see the dry conditions expand too much. Tomorrow is when we get the updated drought monitor. I would hate to see moderate drought conditions pop up across southern Wisconsin, but that may be the case, and this would otherwise help combat that soaking rain over the weekend. 80s tomorrow, the rain holding off until the evening hours, and fall right around the corner starting on Sunday, and our average fall temperature has been climbing since the 1970s by about 3.3 degrees. There is a look at your planner for your Thursday. Plenty of sunshine out there. Let's take a look at that 7 and 10-day forecast. We're back into more seasonal temperatures starting Sunday through that next week, with rain chances again Tuesday and Wednesday.
Blaze, thank you. Overture Center bringing a popular cartoon to life this fall. Avatar, The Last Airbender in concert, is coming to the Overture Hall October 25th. The roughly 2-hour show looks to immerse its audience with a live orchestra, bringing the show's iconic musical score to life in perfect harmony with highlights and favorite moments from the series. The performance will also have a Wisconsin connection to it, as Heidi Jostin of Cameron, Wisconsin, will be the conductor.
I'm here to make sure the orchestra feels great together, but I also have the best seat in the house to these world-class musicians doing the most incredible music making night after night after night. So my job is like, hold it all together, have a great time, and just make sure that we're all just still loving what we're doing.
And it looks like it'll be a packed house for the performance. Tickets are sold out on the Overture Center's website. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Did you get hit with big energy bills this summer? You aren't alone, and we want to help. Because if your house was hot this summer, it's going to be cold this winter. And heating and cooling is by far the biggest energy user in your home. That's why our foam insulation is such a great investment. Our best offer of the year just ended August 31st. But to help you get ready for winter, we're going to extend it until September 22nd, the first day of fall. When we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Gas, groceries, school supplies.
Everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
We wanted to be able to enjoy all 4 seasons, and patio enclosures helped us make that dream come true.
The one and only patio enclosures.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year, so visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
Brian Style worked to overturn Roe v. Wade, called it a great victory.
Brian Stiles' victory banned abortion in Wisconsin, and his agenda would ban it nationwide, with surveillance of pregnancies and restricting birth control and fertility treatments. Peter Barca fights to protect our freedoms, not tear them away.
He backs Wisconsin's law enforcement, firefighters, and unions.
And Peter does what's right no matter what party it is.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Well, it was a welcome sight for Packer fans. For the first time since injuring his medial collateral ligament against the Eagles down in Brazil, Packers quarterback Jordan Love was back on the practice field today. And during practice, Love was seen throwing bootleg passes, rolling out and throwing passes while he had a sleeve over that left leg. And head coach Matt LaFleur said Love was limited during today's practice. If Love is unable to go this Sunday against Tennessee, Malik Willis then would take the field for his second straight start. Green Bay acquired Willis from Tennessee for a 7th-round pick last month. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers are National League Central champions. This after the Oakland A's beat the Cubs at Wrigley Field earlier today. The Crew currently preparing for their series finale against Philadelphia tonight. Freddie Peralta will toe the rubber for Milwaukee and go up against Aaron Nola. First pitch scheduled for 6:40 at AmFam Field. And even though the Brewers are now playoff bound, there's still work to be done. They still have a shot at the top 2 seeds in the National League. That would give them a bye in the playoffs. And if you're wondering where Zach is, he is busy working on the next episode of the Wisconsin Huddle right now. And this week, former Badger volleyball player, national champion Lauren Barnes is stopping by. And you'll be able to catch the next episode later this Friday at 6:30. That'll be coming your way right after News 3 Now at 6. And the lawns are starting to go to sleep out there.
It's bad.
It is really dry. We're starting to see leaves come down.
Yeah.
We could really use a little rain.
And it arrives hopefully starting Thursday evening and then again over the weekend. I know a lot of folks maybe wanted to get out this weekend. I'm one of those. I love getting outside, but we need the rain, as Eric and I have mentioned, as you probably have seen. So while Saturday will be dry, Sunday is when we see that better chance for showers and thunderstorms. That, of course, is the start of fall. After that, more seasonal temperatures with maybe another rain chance or two Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
All right, Blaze, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now at 10.